Hello everyone, my name is Mitko. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will be discussing 5 stocks that I will be holding on to forever. These are all long-term holdings that I believe in their consistent growth and their ability to dominate the market and go forward. Now, what I mean by holding forever, these are stocks that I plan to hold for at least 20 years down the road before I even consider selling them. So if you're someone who's looking to build a strong portfolio that will perform well over the next foreseeable future, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Our first stock on the list needs no introduction. We all know and love it. It's Apple. This company is currently the most valuable company in the world, and I believe it will stay that way for the foreseeable future. We all use this, whether it's using their iPhones, their MacBooks, the watches, the AirPods. And what makes this company a never sell stock is their ecosystem. Once you get used to using their interface and using an iPhone, you never want to switch out of it because it's just so convenient. Not only that, this paired with their constant innovation, their constant improvement in technologies, getting new phones, new products, will keep this company one of the top companies in the world for the next 20 years at least. Considering all this and the fact that I use an iPhone, I wear an Apple Watch, I use their AirPods, I even have a MacBook, using all these products, I want to invest in a company that I already buy normal products from. Why not own a company that myself and others around me are constantly buying new and innovative products from them? Next up on our list is another Mag 7 company that needs no introduction. It's Alphabet, the parent company to Google. Now, with Google, you really can't go wrong. They're such a big company. Recently, there's been some fears that they're going to try to separate the company into smaller ones, but I think that will fade away shortly. With Google, you're investing in their web search business, YouTube. They also have Google Maps, even Android. These are all things that are a part of Alphabet. And by investing in this company, you're investing in all these great and amazing software, services, technologies, everything that they have. Not to mention, they even have their self-driving electric cars, Waymo, which they're currently testing in Austin. So I think investing in Google is an absolute no-brainer for the future, and I believe it will truly generate market-dominating returns over the next 20 years. It will definitely outpace S&P 500. Not only that, with its continuous investments into other AI companies, even recently announced Willow, their quantum computing chip, all these great innovative things, and their CEO's one hell of a CEO. I think he's not going to let Google become an average company. He's going to keep pushing it to be the top of what they do. And because of these beliefs that I will keep investing in Google over the next 20 years at least, if not longer than that, because Google they also have the dominant share in the search industry. They have about 90% of the search industry. People, when you look at them, they search on their computer, they go to Google. Even on their phones, people install the Google Chrome app. Google's just everywhere, and you absolutely cannot go wrong owning this company. Our third company on the list is Visa. And yes, the one that produces credit cards. So the way Visa works is they charge essentially a small transaction fee every time you swipe one of their credit or debit cards, which, if you think about it, there's millions of people across the globe constantly every day swiping multiple times a day on these cards. So every single day you're getting millions of, if not billions of transactions that are going through, and you're making a small percentage profit on each one of those transactions. Now, this is super scalable for the future because as money becomes even more digitalized in the future, I'm sure Visa will be a critical player, whether it's more credit cards, whether they start taking interest in Bitcoin. I'm sure Visa is not going to let their advantage get lost. And what I really love about Visa is that their profit margins sit at about 90%. And like I mentioned, people are going to keep spending money, and as our population grows and prices keep rising, that small percentage fee is just going to keep increasing the amount of money the company makes over time. Not only that, Visa also pays a dividend. So due to all these reasons, I believe Visa is a long-term hold for any investor, whether you like dividends, whether you like long-term growth, whether you like a long, sustainable, safe stock that will continue to grow with time. I believe Visa is an amazing play for all three of those scenarios, and you really cannot go wrong with the stock. Now, I know the title of this video is Top 5 Stocks That I'm Never Selling, but I always like to caution people that you shouldn't get too heavy in stock picking, and sometimes it's best to stick with the basics. That's why my next two picks are actually ETFs, and the first one is VOO. VOO is basically an ETF that holds the same holdings as the S&P 500s. It tracks it one-to-one, and when you invest in VOO, you invest in the 500 biggest and most profitable companies in the US. So who wouldn't want to hold that? Within this, Apple's included in this, Google's included in this, you have Meta, Nvidia, AMD, all of these companies, which are great companies and profitable, are in this ETF. And what's the best part about this ETF, which is not like holding a single stock, is let's say Apple comes crashing down, some news happen where they're having issues with their new phone, they're lighting on fire. Apple could shoot down 30%, but VOO might go down 1% or 2 max, because there's still 499 other companies which are in this holding. So just because one stock is performing well doesn't mean the whole ETF will hold well. And this is, I believe, the best place for beginners to start investing their money, because you don't have to actively manage it and you can let it grow over time. And if you look at the S&P 500 throughout its whole inception, I believe it averages about 8% return per year, which is amazing. Nowhere can you find a bank which will give you 8% return on your money every year. Now, for the final ETF that's going to be in this list, it's VGT. Now, the reason why I'm including VGT is because if you're someone like me who's young and so has a long time horizon, you can realistically afford to take on more risk. At least I'm pretty risk averse. I don't mind taking on more risk, so I would personally prefer buying into VGT or maybe SCHG or QQQ or QQQM, one of these more risky, heavier tech weighted ETFs. And the reason for this is, while you're going to have more swings on the downside, let's say the S&P 500 returns down 10%, these heavier tech weighted ETFs could return down 20, 25, even 30%. But the same is true on the contrary. When the market is performing well, let's say the S&P 500 goes up 10, 15, 20%, you'll have these tech-based ETFs go up 25, 30, 40% a year. And like I mentioned, since I'm so young and I have a long time horizon, I believe I can let this play out for a longer time period. Like I said, I don't plan on selling VGT, my shares of VGT, anytime soon. So I believe I'll get to see these really great market returns by holding these companies. And VGT is focused on technology and information sector. So I'm going to be holding, again, great companies. Like I mentioned, the Mag 7, which is Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, Google, Apple, all of these companies, they just have a higher weighting than they would in the S&P 500. And I'm fine with that, because I'm not playing the short game, I'm playing the long-term game with my wealth. There you guys go. These are 5 stocks that I'm never selling, and these aren't just stocks. These are all important pieces of my long-term investing strategy, because I truly believe building wealth isn't about a sprint. It's not about a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about a long journey like a marathon, where 1 year at a time to build your wealth consistently over time. With all that being said, let me know what you guys are currently investing in, what ETFs, what stocks you like. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe, like, and turn on the bell for notifications. Thank you guys for watching. I post every single Monday, weekly, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Have a great day.